This is just a quick update on my layout progress, and be sure to watch the end to find out about a new series I'm starting on this channel. Let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 13 of our series of Building a New Model Railroad. In this episode, I'm just going to give you a quick update on what I've done so far on the layout. I'm going to bring you completely up to date with what I've done. The last few weeks have been quite hot here in the UK, and my garage isn't climate controlled. I don't have any air conditioning or anything. It's insulated, so it's not too bad in winter, but in the summer it can get quite stuffy in here. And as you all know, in UK we don't get much sun, so take advantage of the sun as much as we can. But I'll show you what I've done so far. To follow the progress of my layout build, be sure to click that subscribe button down below and click on that little bell icon to be notified of all my upcoming episodes. Also be sure to watch the end of this video, as I've got some news on a new series I'm starting on this channel. So anyway, let's get started on the update. So this is how far I've got so far. As you saw in the previous video, you saw the electronics on the first section of the staging yard, the lower staging yard, and there is the yard in place over there. And you can see, if I show you, all the tracks are in place and it's connected to the helix on this side, and there's the completed helix. So what I've got to connect over here, you'll see this is the top of the helix, and there's going to be a connecting bridge between there and the first level of the layout, the main operating level of the layout. And this is going to be the Western Avenue yard, so it'll be the first visible yard or operating yard of the layout, and that is going to take up two of these boards, the two of these 6-foot boards, and it's going to end up over there. And then it's going to have a metro station, so Western Avenue metro station, and then the Western Avenue yard as well, the BNSF yard, which is going to be for mainly intermodal, but there'll be a local that comes out of there as well, and there's a bit of interchange. I think it's with Norfolk Southern. So that is what's going to be over there. So that's what I've got so far. Well, the plan is that's the completed one down at the bottom. So that's the completed one down at the bottom there. And then the other half of that yard, I will show you now. So this over here is the almost completed second half of the lower staging yard. You can see all the tracks are in place, turnouts are in place, everything is completed top side. And what I'm doing now is installing the switch machines underneath. Once I've done that, I'll be doing the wiring and the electronics, so the switch decoders and all that. So if I just show you what I've done underneath. So this is the current stage of the underneath of the second half of the staging yard. You can see that I've got all the feeders in place. They're all soldered in place and ready to connect to the wiring. And I've started putting the switch machines in as well. I've got another, I think it's another 2 switch machines to put in. Only thing I'm trying to work out, I've got a bit of limited space over here. I've just got to actually get a couple of smaller switch machines. The 2 tortoises won't fit in next to each other there. So I might have to use a couple of the servos that I've got, or maybe I'll be able to fit 2 cobalts in. I've just got to test fit the spacing between them. But that is the status of the second lower staging yard board. So that's not going to be too far off completion. It's a lot simpler than the first board because it hasn't got as many switch machines in there, and so that won't take too long to do. And as you would have seen earlier, the second half of the metro yard doesn't have any switch machines, so that is this top part over here. There are no switch machines on the second half of the metro yard because it's a stub-ended yard, so it's all the switch machines are at the other end, whereas the freight yard has got a sort of throat at the end, and then that was where the locomotives come out of escape track for the locomotives. They'll come out on that side and then go back to the front end of the train, so they don't get stuck at the back of the train. They can at least escape. Whereas the metro, the locomotives stay on the same end, so they don't have to move around. So that is the current status. So that's as far as I've got. The next bit will be finishing off this board, and then I can start on the, say, on the bridge of the Helix, and then I can get started on the actual main level. So it'll be the main line and the Western Avenue yard, which will be at the top over here. So hopefully they won't be too far off. So as you can see, I haven't done much in the last few weeks, but at least I'm almost done on the low staging yard. Just a few more switch machines to install, wiring and the electronics, and then this low staging yard will be all complete. And then I can get started on the first level of the layout, which unfortunately is another yard, so a lot more switches and switch machines to install, but hey, that's the joy of model railroading. So as mentioned earlier, I'm starting a new series on this channel. It's going to be just a series of short videos on the electronics and bits and pieces on the layouts. A few people have asked for me to give a bit more detail about what the electronics are. I've shown an overview of what I'm using on my layouts. So the block detectors and the decoders for running the switch machines. And I'm just going to go into a little bit more detail on each one. Then it's going to be very short snippets, but at least it'll give you a bit of an overview on each one. So I'll just do a video for each piece of kit. So for example, like on the BDL168s, I'll just give you a brief introduction to what they are, show you what all the elements are of it, and just a quick overview on what it does. Obviously, I run Digitrax on this layout, so some of it will not be applicable to other DCC systems, but they all have similar bits of hardware. They just work slightly differently. But I'll just show you what I've got, and just give you a brief idea of what each one does. So thank you all for watching. If you don't already subscribe, please click that subscribe button down below and click that little bell icon to be notified of all my upcoming episodes. So as always, stay safe and see you soon.